we like to start Monday mornings with something we fondly refer to as the jargon of the day. This is when we take on one word, one phrase, one acronym. We try to figure out what are the experts talking about. We give you the actual definition, which I do enjoy making fun of it. I have to be honest, because there's so much to be made fun of. And then we give you a working definition that's a little less specific, but a little more user-friendly, that hopefully can help you to entree into understanding this, whatever it is that we're talking about, and not hurt your head. Because I don't need my head hurt by jargon, do you? So today's term, Traven's got it there for us, it's random rotation. Now this is one of those terms that when you hear this, when you're just coming into the autism community and somebody starts talking about random rotation, I thought they were talking about a hip displacement the first time I heard this, right? A random rotation. Is that when your arm turns the wrong way and it pops out of the socket? What are we talking about here? Has nothing to do with that, turns out. Okay, so Traven, let's go ahead and show them the actual definition. Random rotation. A procedure used during discrimination training in which the target is interspersed randomly with other targets. Often the other targets have been previously mastered. Okay, this is great if you knew what discrimination training was, and if you knew what interspersing a target randomly was, and if you knew what a mastered target was, then you would be fine. Right? But most of us don't know that on day one coming in. So it's then becomes, what are we talking about? And they're not even phrases that you can really look up, right? Because you can't look up previously mastered target, right? And get a definition, because that doesn't exist. So let's put it together for you. Let's go on to our working definition of random rotation. It means randomly switching between the behavior you're teaching, the current target, and other behavior responses that the child or the individual already knows. Okay, so when we're trying to teach something in ABA, and there's something that's called DTT, discrimination training. And what we do is we start out with errorless learning. So if I want you to learn that this is the yellow Post-it note, this is never something that I would teach, right? But I don't have a car here with me. So if I wanted to teach you, let's say I'm teaching yellow. I could be teaching square. I could be teaching Post-it note, right? But let's say that I'm teaching yellow. And so I would take this, and my desk isn't, where can I put it so that you see it? Nope, doesn't work there. I got to put it further back. Okay, so I put it on the desk, and I say to the child, touch yellow. Now the child doesn't understand what touch is in the beginning, so then I'm going to use a prompt and very gently go, touch yellow, and I go, yay, yellow. Right? And then, I would move, my hands around, do whatever, and then I would put yellow back down, and I would say to the child, touch yellow. And it always, you see the videos and it looks so ridiculous, touch yellow. But they talk in a certain way because we're trying to heighten the moment and go, something's happening here, because the child's like, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? It's weird, right? I've never done this before, but touch yellow. And now in the beginning, they don't know what yellow is, even though I'm saying touch yellow and they're touching yellow. They don't know what yellow is, right? So there's a bunch of different things that we're going to do over a period, but this is called errorless learning. There's nothing else there to touch. And I'm giving you the answer, and then I'm giving you a reward, right? Errorless learning. But at a certain point, we're going to mass trial this. So after I've errorlessly learned this, I'm going to put things out with the yellow that I have not already taught. This is the important thing. So I put the Kleenex box, and I'm going to put my phone here, because maybe you'll be able to see my phone. And now I put, and by the way, none of the other things can be yellow. There's blue and orange on this, but there's no yellow. Because if I say touch yellow and there's yellow on the Kleenex box, now it's not going to be clear, right? So I would say touch yellow, and now I'm teaching the child to discriminate between the three things. So you're touching yellow. And then I'm going to move them around, because I never want them in the same place. And now I'm saying touch yellow. And I help the child until they can do it themselves. And I give a reward for it, right? So the child doesn't know that that's yellow, but they know it, when I touch this, she goes nuts and I get what I want. That's fine for this stage of the learning, right? And I keep moving them around. And, touch yellow. And by the way, eventually I will get a different yellow. I will get a yellow in a different shape. Let's see, I've got oh good, look, see, I've got these yellow. This is a slightly different yellow. and it's a different shape. So now I would throw this in here, right? Because different stimuli, but I'm still teaching yellow. So right now I'm mass trialing it. All I'm working on is the yellow. So I teach yellow until the point where every time I say touch yellow, the child, no matter which yellow thing I put up here, the child's like, I know this is associated when she says that word that I don't know what it means, but it's yellow. Right? And we go, oh, okay, now at least 8 times out of 10, when I say touch yellow, the child touches yellow. And yay, always the reinforcer, right? Now I'm going to say that, and by the way, they got to touch it 8 out of 10 times across 2 sessions with at least 2 different people, right? Because we want to make sure it's not just when I say yellow, right? But then I'm going to say that yellow is mastered. Does that mean that they know yellow backward and forward? No, but we've got it at least that far. So now the next step is that I go and maybe I teach pink. And I go through the same exact process and I teach pink. And I say touch pink. And the child doesn't know what I'm talking about, right? And it looks ridiculous, right? But we teach touch pink, right? And then, you know, eventually we put it in a field of 3, right? And I'm mass trialing touch pink. And notice yellow's not here. Touch pink, right? Touch pink. And by the way, they're doing it that fast. And then they're rewarding. I'm leaving out the rewarding part. Okay. Now, once I master pink, now I've got 2 of them. So now we want to put pink and yellow up together. And since I only know 2, we're going to have an unknown, which is, and by the way, this can't be yellow or pink, right? And I put them up there and I go, touch pink. And the child is like, I don't, you know, and I'm going to, oh, so here, you know, I prompt, touch pink, yay! And I move them around really quickly. And I go, touch yellow. And they go to touch pink, and we, you know, we don't reprimand them, but we lead their hand over and go, touch yellow. Oh, okay, so eventually the child gets it. Oh, when you say pink, I touch this one. And when you say yellow, I touch this one. Now, it seems stupid. I got to be honest with you. The first time I saw people doing this, I was like, it's like playing the shuffle game. You know, where's the queen? Like what? It works. It works, it works, it works, it works, it works. And not only, it's just the first phase of teaching this, but it helps them, what you're teaching them to do, this is why they call it discrimination training, is you're teaching them to discriminate between pink and yellow, but you can't do that if you teach them at the same time. So first you got to teach yellow, then you got to teach pink, and then you teach blue, and then you teach car, and then you know what I mean? Like you teach, there's a certain amount of attrition that you get to, and it's just like when they were teaching Helen Keller. I talk about this all the time. It's like until you get to the point where there's a moment when the children get it and they go, oh, when you're saying that word, they understand the concept of labels. So this is iPad, and this is tissue, and this is pen, and they start to absorb quickly. And then we move into other kinds of teaching, and we lengthen it out a little bit more, and it isn't just, by the way, it isn't just touching. Sometimes you're having them match. So, you know, you put 2 yellow things out and you say match yellow, and then they have to put them together, right? And then you do match pink and, you know, lessons, but it works. And it becomes a basis for teaching all things. If something is hard, we go back to isolating it out, discriminating it, but this is like step 1, 2, and 3 of maybe a 300-step thing where you get to conversation. And I know people look at it and they go, that's not going to work. I certainly did. I was like, what have we gotten ourselves into? You know, touch yellow. I want him to go to college. Well, let me just tell you, my son turned 16 last week, and he's getting ready for college. It works, folks. So that is random rotation. It means that you've got 2 different mastered things at a time, or 3 or 4 or whatever. And now you're not working on the same thing over and over again. It's the next step in the teaching method, starting with errorless learning, then you go to mass trial, and then you go to random rotation. All right, does that make a certain amount of sense? It works, just saying. Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. See you next time.